You know, I don't think you have to do that. Wait, do this now. Okay, do this. Do that.
Celestial event. No. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said. The poet. So beautiful. Beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the Co-Federation Solar, Sun, our starship, planet Earth, restored to heaven. Spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal, Voyager and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and be understood, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, CAD, present, retroactively, and now,
We're going to start this over.
Always balanced.
We're going to start this over.
To loving, viewing us all logically, and both. Because whenever
We'll hang out on there. We're going to start it over.
Celestial event. No. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said. The poet.
Our family is filled with poetesses, poets, Healers, musicians, co-secretary generals, co-secretaries, true Qs.
A lot of people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the Co-Federation Solar Sun, our starship, planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, CAD, present, retroactively, and now, rebalance, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically evolve, become, and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, it also never been before, in alternative space timelines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body. For we all, both and each, for each, both and all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunderous clouds, she merges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Condor. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen by my intercessions.
महालक्ष्मी मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्वा महाशक्ति महारथी महाभूता महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धि महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्रा महामंत्रा महायंत्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या ओम महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पक महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेशमहिषी महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टि कलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टि कोटि योगिनी गणसेविता
All of us.
Just a smile like one of us. Just a stranger on the bus.
So, listen to that. Words.
Bear with us. We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, so beautiful. So celestial and red. No. No words. No words. I should have said, oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
We're going to back this up again.
So celestial and red. No. No words. No words. I should have said, oh.
And we are bringing all of our poets place, space, time, travel in the hearts.
Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
With as soon as our computer cooperates a little bit. All right, we're going to back it up one more time because we want to coordinate it with the right music here.
Other people need to see what I've seen. They need to see.
And you do see, because I am giving it to you to the inner sight to see. The poetesses and the poets, the musicians, the healers, the co-secretary generals, co-saviorahs are coming to this place. And they shall come to this place very soon, or they're going to come into a place that they do not want to be.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not your, our new millennial law.
Okay. I thought it was very good. Maybe better to name sunflower. Sure. This is Anna Marie, singing Christian, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Algonquin, Dakota. And I am also a French, English, and German. I am being. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial gospel as the law of all the natives, of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
Welcome to our middays broadcast. We're about ready to make this possible to be heard in stereo for people who do not have access to a computer and need to hear it on a phone extension. So bear with us. Hi, this is a message that I'm leaving in stereo because we are, of course, doing our middays broadcast on Hangoutz. Meet me and thee in the air. We're doing our middays broadcast on Hi, we are doing our middays broadcast here and on Meet Thee and Me in the Air, and we're doing this as a stereo version of it, so those who do not have access to a computer right now or prefer to hear it just through their just hear it rather than hear it and see it can also hear it that way. We've already played the musical medley and we've made some outreach calls, and we want you to know you're very important as co-hostesses and co-hosts. We are engaged in writing to some other very famous women and maybe a few men eventually too after our youth participate. That will also give us more about their insights about the imbalance of the yin and yang in our world and the need for parity of gender in decision making and balance of love and work and better appreciation of Mother Nature. Rather than just man-made technologies. And we love you very, very much, but I have to be honest with you. I want to be very, very honest with you. That I've been reaching out to you for 3 years, many of you, and I've been warning you, and I've been telling you that you're out of balance and your priorities are very mixed up. You know of the book George Orwell's Animal Farm. The Animal Farm started to experience major problems while the sociopaths were running it. The sociopaths ignored the major problems and they continued to run it into the ground. Now, what our population in North America has been socialized into is sociopathy, particularly toward women and toward younger generations. It has made male hubris that we are used to because we've grown up in a patriarchal epoch seem normal. That's what you're getting from your televisions. And it has made tokenism and gradualism seem necessary and the only way that women can gain access to decision making. Both of these seeming presentations are lies. First of all, they go against common sense, which was delivered to North Americans in January and February of 1776, which called for a government then that would have been 50% women, indigenous included, no slavery, no property requirements. The people were hoodwinked then. They were illiterate, many of them then. Now you have a different problem. You've been infotained with a lie. You've been watching puppets who are paid for and bought by patriarchs in boardrooms, their ditzy, enabling coteries of minions, female and male. And that lie has become your reality. You have been mind programmed. You have been mind programmed. You have been mind programmed to think that families are unimportant, that sisterhood relationships and sister cousinhoods are of no importance, that family community relationships are of no importance, that neighbors are of no importance. You have been mind programmed that all you need to do is put money in a bank and vote once a year for who they tell you are your two only frickin' frack choices. And that's all you need to do, and you're all set. Guess what you're set for? An earthquake. Guess what you're set for? A volcanic eruption. Guess what you're set for? Animal Farm, where the farm and the land is destroyed. While you are going about your business, your normal everyday business, prioritizing, putting money in the bank, taking pills, giving pills, and not understanding that you are part of a juggernaut that is about to reach its obvious destination, which is destruction. Now, it's easy for you to get off the juggernaut. You gather with women. You can do a three-way call, or you can come to our conference line, which I am on right now. or you can call me anytime 24/7 and say, I want you to help me make some three-way calls and gather some women together with me, and then also gather the youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, thereabouts. Because I can tell you, we are now at the time of the year which were called also a celebration time for the Eleusinian mysteries. They occurred at the end of February and the beginning of March. We're also entering into what has been traditionally called Women's History Month or History Month, because that number 3 is a very rounded number, and women are rather rounded creatures. But actually, we've already missed first 2 months, and we have to combine them with that month in our thinking of common sense. And also going back and forth in time, that this time period is, of course, the beginning of Chinese New Year's. It's with a huge population living under patriarchy that can also have a Fukushima, and can also have a Thera-like volcanic eruption, can also have major flooding and tsunamis and horrible loss of life. And you can also have that anywhere in the world. You certainly can have it on the West Coast, the East Coast, and you can have a New Madrid type earthquake there in Illinois, where many of you are listening. You can have Fukushimas all over the place. We've got lots of nuclear power plants, but you've got some very near to you. Now, the question is, you have some people in our family system who are in particular denial. I don't love them any less for it, but they are in very, very great denial. And they think that male hubris and female enabling is the way to go. That is the way to go in their mind. They don't understand that that is Animal Farm. And, oh, yeah, they're going to go, but their neighborhoods may go right into a crack in the earth. And it may be close enough to a nuclear power plant at Zion, where the big failure has been in our culture among people who survived one Holocaust, but seem to have learned nothing of what Esther Herzog and Reall Eisler were telling them, Holocaust survivors, telling them patriarchy is what caused this. You have a Vaterland causes genocide. Well, this time it's going to cause worse than genocide. This time it's Animal Farm. This time it's the land that gets taken. And you, I have news for you. You with all your cell phones and your cars and all the little technologies that you have that you're so proud of, that run on gasoline and are controlled by big companies that are bilking you, are going to find them in the rubble. It will be much worse than what happened to the World Trade Centers. Is this what you want for your buildings and your neighborhoods? Because you're on that path right now. That's your path. That is your path. You find it convenient to put a daddy over you and not cooperate with other women who are intelligent and have a better clue than women who are less intelligent and more easily manipulated by you. So you decided to listen to the dumb instead of to the smart. You decided to listen to the avoidant instead of the connecting. You decided to listen to the uncaring instead of the caring. You think you're on the right path? Do you think so? Well, you can get on the right path so easily by just making the three-way calls or getting on the conference line or calling me anytime, and I'll coordinate with you to coordinate on one of these circle panels with famous women in our family tree, obviously in our Margulies, Silverkind, Zalkind, Feldmarian, and many interrelated family trees that are all have come into our family. You can do that, and knowing that some of these other famous families are also going to be involved in this, and famous women experts on patriarchy, women experts on holistic healing, on holistic medicine, on holistic nature-based understanding of our world, the laws of the universal nature, of the nature of the universe, my dears, not just of the earth and the earths, but of the universe itself. You cannot have yang and expect it to last. It will collapse in on it of itself, of its own dead, uncaring, myopic, cyclopic understanding of the world, which is missing the half, more than half, who hold up the sky. The women and the youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, of every heritage and hue. on an interrelated planet. Do you really think that if there's a Mount Thera type eruption in China, it won't affect you? It will give you nuclear winter. You'll have a winter, and it will last maybe a couple of 100 years. The clouds will be sulfur. They won't be the pretty white clouds that you're seeing right now if you look up in your blessed sky, that you're dangling in front of disaster. Now, I can't wake you up any further. I am at the point where I can only give you good materials and try to give you examples of other women who have spoken to the issue of the danger of patriarchy, and men, too, who have spoken to this danger. What you do to one another and to those who you are supposed to love but do not love, and to yourself, in order to fit in with patriarchy, is a disaster on wheels. And it is rolling, and you are getting very, very close to the cliff. I tell you that this time period is the time for the Eleusinian mysteries of the spring season. They have big ones also in the autumnal spring season, because spring and autumn are, of course, mirror images of each other in the north and the southern hemisphere, northern and southern hemispheres of this interrelated planet. So when it's spring in one place, it's autumn in another. When it's autumn in another, it's spring in the other. You are moving toward the quantum leap moment. Do you want to leap out of your incarnation into a lesser incarnation? Do you want your planet to leap into its end times? Or do you want to leap to the quantum leap of a new civilization better than Stargate and better than Star Trek combined, with gender parity for all people, female and male benefited by it, and by all generations benefited by it, past, present, and future, because we will open up the stargates and we will understand that the Akashic record understanding of the universe that the ancient Sanskrits told us about, and the many theologians have thought about, and many physicists who have talked about alternative timelines and the interfolded nature of reality of the universe, its multidimensional qualities, are right there. You can have this. You can have a risen world and worlds. Or you can hold on to your daddies. Hold on to those daddies with all your might, because you really missed daddy as a child. And you didn't like mommy all that much because she really told you too much what to do. She criticized what you wore, and she made you feel bad too often. And daddy was missing, and you wish you had had more time with him. You can take all that personal tilt that you have because you grew up under patriarchy, which takes men out of their homes and away from their wives and away from their children, and you can blame your mothers for it instead of blaming the system of patriarchy. And you can stay away from all women and avoid talking with each other and pretend you have nothing to say about gender parity and the new millennial golden rule. And if you do that, I tell you, around leap year day, and March 1st, I'm going to be praying for you, because I am asking Goddess God to not make, since you've been given this information, I'm thinking that if you have even a terribly complicated event there or anywhere that interacts with us here in North America, even if it occurs in China, or if it occurs in the land of Israel, which had a huge earthquake when the one patriarch met with another, when the religious patriarch met with the secular patriarch of two different patriarchal Judeo-Christian lies, they had a huge earthquake all along the Jordan River. Maybe you'll have it there, and maybe ISIS can then invade. ISIS, with its name that was a goddess name that everybody seems to have forgotten, even though it was worshipped for 35,000 years. And Hera was forgotten, even though she was worshipped for 35,000 years. And, you know, whether or not you give it an incarnated name, that isn't important. What's important in our times is to understand its divine democracy, and every woman has the goddess within her. Good judgment, caring, loving, nurturing yin qualities that have enough yang to have enough agency to stand up for each other and for their children. So I have said to you, I have asked you to choose between blessings and curses. Which is it you want? Do you want loving life and blessings in the light of balance? Or do you want curses and death, whether it be slow or fast? I don't know. I don't know. And in the darkness of patriarchy that you hold to because you miss your fathers. And you cannot separate your personal experience long enough from your vision of thinking, from the system that actually took your fathers out of your home in the first place. The Valentine's Day holiday is all about the attempt of people to keep men who were drafted into the military by ancient Rome, to give them time with their families. And prior to Valentine, there was a Gnostic sect called the Valentinians, which was all about the pairing of the female and the male. It was all about the equal pairing of female and male in order to fulfill the dictates of universal law and love. But you have put males above you. Ladies, there's going to be a lot of ladies listening to this and some other people who are younger females and males. You have put the older males above yourself. And they have been only so willing to oblige because they've been socialized into patriarchy and they think they belong there. They're just, unfortunately, the animals of Animal Farm. At this time, that's what that makes them. They're big thump on the chest apes that don't know that what they're doing is not working. We cannot have a planet of the apes with high technology. You have to be a planet of bonobos that know how to be goddesses and gods, to be equinox trucus, to be co-secretary generals, co-saviorahs, and know that your planet is interconnected and the errors that you make here do impact the nature over there, and it's going to come back at you. Now, I have warned you that you'll sit on an earthquake fault, at the New Madrid fault, and you have a lot of nuclear power waste around you. You remember Chernobyl? I am praying that you don't have a disaster of that nature. I am praying that you personally, those who have held on to such strange alienation from me, and also the message that I live, it's not just give. It's not that you're alienated only from me. You're alienated from each other, and you're alienated from the message. You're alienated from all of the above. If you just want to carry the message and say, you know, Michelle, I don't want to do it with you, but I'll do it with this and this and this person instead for a while. Maybe I'll come back to you when I feel less competitive with you or disgusted with you or whatever it is you feel, betrayed by me, whatever you felt or feel. It's okay with me. But understand that if you continue to put daddy above you, you are looking at Animal Farm right where you are, one way or another, from whatever place on this earth that is going to break down under the dead weight of what you've been doing. Tokenism is not parity. Tokenism makes the women who enter into the realm of decision-making more like the men who are already in it. So they simply become drone-like, masculinized women instead of balanced light givers that can assist the men, all men of all ages, to attain balance. Instead, they tip it to the yang. They become yang. The women become yang. And it goes yang into yang into yang, 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 yang. And all of the vulnerable people who have enormous gifts to give, the young and often the elderly, are the first to show the signs of the stress, whether they have a disease of youth or a disease of age. And then guess what? Because the middle-aged people have not been listening, they're going to go down into an even worse situation when it comes back to haunt them, that they did this to their young and to their elderly because they couldn't let go of patriarchy and refused to pay any attention to the hundreds of millions, in fact, billions of people who live under gender parity right now. and talk about it and gather in a circle. And especially to people who have issues with their siblings or their sister kazinas, you have been trained up to think your sister kazinas are strangers. They're not. They're within 2, 3, and 4 steps away from you on a family tree. They're not strangers. You may not have grown up with them. Your society is so stupid that you never had a family reunion, but they've been there all along. You can gather with them because you know about them through the internet now. The internet is the biggest family reunion potential of the world in the universe. It goes beyond this world. I am a partial reincarnation of Rachel Molly Gruber Sagan. I know what I'm talking about. I am the Ellie. I got this. But you haven't been listening to me, and I don't think you're going to. So I am praying. I'm praying to Goddess God that whatever happens to you, because at this point, you've already decided not to cooperate. I can see this has been going on for 3 years. You've decided not to cooperate. You've decided not to make circles. You've decided to endanger your young people and put them on pills. You've decided to endanger your young old people and put them on pills. Maybe you're taking some pills yourselves. Some of you ladies. I bet you. That isn't an answer. Parity is the answer, not pills. Start carrying the new millennial golden rule as if your life depended upon it. Say it to everyone you meet. Don't go to any patriarchal doctors. Go to only people who advocate for holistic health and balance of gender and appreciate the importance of family and life system in terms of the stress levels of people at all ages. And stop paying taxes to people who you know are working for people who are deliberately trying to accumulate at your expense, and stop paying bills that you don't have to pay, and stop buying anything new until you get parity, unless it's absolutely essential. I mean, very essential and important to your functioning. If it isn't, let it go, because you're going to have to wait until you get the parity and spread the new millennial golden rule. If you don't, my dears, Animal Farm is right here. 911 was an example of what can go wrong. You're reaching a worse scenario, much worse scenario. And I'm going to do the ceremony now, and of course I say with joy all the names of the women that I can think of, and if I forget anybody, you know, I do this off the cuff of my head. I don't have it on a written piece of paper always, and I forget some names, but you know all the names of all of the women I and you have ever known are included, and all of their Shekinah back to the beginning, certainly of this part of the world in common sense, and then again back again to and let's go back just a little bit more recently. Go back to the Beijing Conference for Women that called for gender parity, at least 30% everywhere by the year 2000, with the goal to have parity by 2005. They wanted it right away. Where are you? And okay, and now go back to common sense, 1776, and then go back to the Rashi of Troyes, Rebbitzin and Rashi of Troyes and the daughters and what they were trying to do but didn't quite make it, and then go back to the Magdalene and the Nazarene families that said female and male are equally anointed, no hierarchy here, folks. But you ignored them. And then go back to the people that they did learn from, Atlantis. Go back to Atlantis, the goddess of the Statue of Liberty, and all the incarnated goddesses that they knew they were at that time, and go back to Vedic India that had pretty much the same thing a little bit earlier. I don't know if it lasted quite as long. The Atlantis civilization lasted for several thousands of years without one battle of war, and everybody was happy, and everybody had high quality of life, true harmony with nature, and the men and the women got along just fine. And they made babies, and it all worked out fine. So what is your problem? What is your real problem? You miss daddy? You hate your sister? She's a younger sibling. She dethroned you. Your mother loved my mother loved you best. That's one of Deborah Tannen's books. We have her coming as a guest. Is that what it's all about? Is that the extent to which your eyes can see past your nose? You have a whole world around you, not just your own antipathy toward this family member or that family member. You have to make loving, living peace with people that you don't understand You have to be able to communicate in a circle. And those who block communication are Animal Farm. Operating amongst you, you have to understand who those people are. And those who avoid communication and stay in the dark, you're going to wind up as a dark frog or a dark worm if you keep doing what you're doing. So don't do that. Let's do the ceremony. I'm doing it right now. And I say all the names of our family. I'm going to start with Mariam and Naomi and Ruth and Hadass. I'm going to then go to, I'm holding up the heart light and the flowers, the marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers. I'm going to start with Hadass and Mariam and Marian and Naomi and Ruth on their tree. I'm going to start, even before then I should have said, Anna Marie and Ma Patricia. I'm going to start with Anna Marie and Ma Patricia and Myrtle and Pearl and Rose and Marie. And also their younger generations, starting with April and Rosa and Angela and Edith. And also we'll get to the young boys. They come right after, and they are waiting. They're already with us. They're standing with their sisters. They're just gentlemanly enough to say, you ladies go first. It's been thousands of years since you were allowed to go equally with men. You go first. I have a friend from the Occupy movement whose program was called Sit Down So She Can Stand Up. The whole movement could have listened to him, and they didn't. And here we are as a result with the 1% Animal Farm. And I'm also going to say, Victoria with Libertia, Mariama and Estrella with Sharon and Raquel and I'll say Vanessa, but she's part of a couple, and there's a young man waiting in the wings, waiting for her to, and all of you, to recognize one another so he can say, I am a patient and understanding giant, a diamond, and so can this. I'm also going to include Mary and little Elizabeth, and they also have another little giant guy, another one. There's 2 of them at least, and actually there's 4 because Marion have 2 sons and brothers, okay? And then we also have Soma and Meredith, who also has a brother. These people are waiting in the wings. Where are you? Now, we also include Szheduled. I learned the name Szheduled of Barbara. I believe that's the name. I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. I might remember it slightly wrong. Barbara and Heidi, I've given her an ancestor, and Linda and Deanna, as well as Diana. Diana is very deeply in the dark, very hidden and living vicariously through bullying tactics that she encourages someone else to do on her behalf, because she has low self-esteem and she misses her grandmother and can't come out and say it. So she plays these games. We want to liberate her from these games. Okay, and we're also going to include, now, the main sponsors of this event, as Harriet, the tree of love and life, of the daughter of Ray, Estrella, Ray, the Balkan, Greco-Roman, Atlantis, Titan, mother goddess who gave birth to all the goddesses and gods. Ray. Where is your veneration for this woman? She was an immigrant. She spoke several languages. She was a brilliant woman. Where is your veneration? Why are you not sharing any? And her daughter, Ezhera, and her sister, little Ya, who suffers from Alzheimer's because she has accepted the poison pills of patriarchy as her protection, and they are protecting her right into addle-brainedness and premature passing. And let's welcome her too, and let's welcome Lillian Gay, who helped care for her as a baby, and Lillian Gay and all of her family, and all of the famous family of people of color who were brought here as slaves because of what? Because women said, I don't mind what my husband does, I won't look at it. I'm busy raising children. I don't have any say-so. I'm just his property too. And they accepted that role, and they laughed at it, and they let a Holocaust occur to people of color coming to this land and in this land. You think that's okay? You think Mother, Father, Goddess, God forgot that? Why are you not here at this hat home that was a hat gathering place for community of all kinds? You come. You come. So you can liberate the spirits of all the people who were Holocausted, the Native Americans and the people of color, as well as the people of the Judeo-Christian heritages on many, many places with too many wars and too many genocides. We also were very, very close to Chinatown. You know how many people have died there? You know how they bashed in the feet of their little girls so they'd look attractive to men for thousands of years? Patriarchy, 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 and all that while the swords were slashing and killing and harming. Patriarchy! And I'm also including, so it's Sarah Harriet, Ray Rayette, Clara Ra, Risen Ro, Precious Antoinette, and all her descendants. We have Lily, we have Lucille, we have Lee and Thelma and Arlene, who is with us. We have their daughters, Batya and Helene. We have Sherry. Where are these women? They're living in La La Land, buying things, putting money in the bank. They forgot the connection. They forgot the connection, and you're all in big trouble now. I tell you, you're all in big trouble. I've been calling you for years, and I do call you, and you don't know how to call each other or me. There are sisters there that live in the same city. And Sally with Deborah and Paula, right there, right near the Statue of Liberty, right near Sherry. They never gather. They never gather. And so we have another silver kind, Susan, who made it possible for women to pray at the Temple Mount after she and her daughter Hallel got arrested, and a bunch of other women. But what are they doing now? Letting old men run everything and sending their daughters into the military. Guess how that's going to protect them against ISIS and Iran and a nuclear bomb drop? It's not going to. The only thing that would have protected them and that can protect them is parity. Parity, parity, parity. That's another woman who's created a great havoc, and we include Beth Ann, and we include Laura and Jodine, and Sarah, the famous woman, also, we include them. They don't understand they've been worshiping daddies too much too, and leaving the mommies out. They think feminism is abortion too. They don't get it. Feminism is the elevation of the divine feminine, the elevation of women in decision-making, and the balance of love and work and protection of Mother Nature. Abortion is a complicated issue. It is not the definition of feminism, but it certainly cannot be decided by male-dominated courts and legislatures, can it? Where are your logic, ladies? And who am I including? And Rita, Marilyn, Lillian, Molly, Linda, Michelle, Ellen, Jessica, Jennifer, Gila, with Ethel and Ray, and right near you in the Winston complex, and and also making the same mistakes, endangering their daughters and their grandchildren who are in Israel. Right now, they're in danger because their mothers and their sisters can't get their act together to talk about parity for how many years. And we've got Robin and Beth also leaving Adam totally exposed to manipulation, to degradation, to cruelty, to authoritarianism. I shouldn't even mention his name. Let me say it as a whisper. There's a young brother there too. I'm leaving him till afterwards. We're coming with the young men come later. But they come next, and they're standing right with their sisters. They're standing with their sisters, and they are their equals. It's just that they need to act as gentlemen this time. And And who else? Did I say Rachel Marie, Danielle Juliette, Barbara, Judy, and their mother? I'm not remembering it clearly, but we're including their mothers and grandmothers. We're including Judy and May. We're including Judith and Sarah. We're including Esther and Ilsa and all of their generations of women and their sister Gazinas who are with them today in all of these various temples that they have not been talking about parity to, only talking about abortion and Reall. Are you kidding me? You ladies are insane. You've been sold a bill of goods by co-opted organizations and co-opted media, and you don't even know it. Wake up. You have about 2 days to wake up. And okay, so let me think if I've forgotten anybody. We have Georgine. We have Georgine with Malka, with Shirley, with many, many other women whose names we don't even know. We have Geodora. Her name overlaps with that of Georgine, brings the Atlantis culture together with the Judeo-Christian Israel culture at a place where the Towers of Magdala has to remember the towers of love without fortifications for military of Atlantis. They're lighthouses for seafaring and giving light. They didn't have towers for fortification. They had towers of love. And okay, so I'm going to do the rest of this ceremony very quickly because I think I've said most of the names. Antoinette, and let me say, Risen Rose. We are including Rose. We are including Annette. We are including, and of course, all of the members of their family line, the men too, but that has to wait. We're including Marcia. We're including Rebecca. We're including Denise, and we're including Sandra and many others of that name. Zalkind. Zalman becomes Zalkind. And we're including all the Feldmarians. We certainly are including Soma and Meredith. I don't know what's going on with those two. So talented artists, poetesses, artists, and yet they live in the shadow of men and of each other, not letting each other come. They've been reached out to many, many times. I fear for them, and I am asking them to know that there is a woman in their area that originally was from Vancouver, a woman who has studied so much about the women of the Star Trek and Stargate series from the archetypal point of view. Her name is Jarrah Hajdas. She is here too. Jarrah is one of the invitees to our conferences, and she's going to talk about a futuristic vision of women that has to become now. We're way retarded. If we had had parity since Atlantis and continuously, and there was no eruption of Mount Thera because they gave up the bonobo wisdom, you'd have outposts on many, many planets right now, and Ellie of Contact would look like, you know, a very early ancestor. You'd have Star Trek and Stargate already multiple fold. You have to travel back in time without patriarchy. Travel back in time with the new millennial golden rule. Travel back in time for all of your female ancestry and all of their youth age 37 and younger, as if they were raised for an egalitarian society, not a patriarchal one. And understand that the whole universe would have been yours already. You'd already have been equinox turquoise. You'd already have immortal life. Patriarchy has been the price that you've paid. And you're so willing to pay it because you're petty with each other. Your petty relational aggressions and avoidance of each other are despicable in their impact and their poisonous impact, almost as a nuclear bomb. Your poison works slower. Men are faster in action to destroy it all. Their animal farm goes boom, fast. You're slowly destroying it since you've been ignoring me and one another who's been talking about parity with you for years and failing to gather in any way with each other in your home cities, in your home buildings. Oh, come on. So that's why this is so important to you. And we're also including Rose's mother, Marie of flowing kindness and milk and honey and water, and also Grandma Popper, better than Mary Poppins, and all her Shekinah. And they're putting solar panels on buildings now instead of chimneys, and opening their lives open to our nearest star and all the stars of the universe, because we are star stuff. And also, and Dorothy with Stacy Anastasia, Stacy, and Cheryl, and Natalie and Alisa, as well as the young man waiting there too. There's two of them. They're an uncle and a nephew, and they're waiting. And there are other people's nephews too, and they're my great and grand nephews, and they're my great grand nieces, and we certainly include, most importantly, let me say, Julianne Marie and I. Julianne Marie and I are the key to the solution of your world. If you ignore the rift that was opened up by Julianne Marie's need for a father and the injury that Dr. Strauss did to her, and you don't attribute that to patriarchy, the injury that occurred between any mother, as gifted as Sarah Harriet was and Julianne Marie is, they were harmed by patriarchy. And they are continuing in that harm until we liberate all of ourselves by coming to this place, this home, this hat-gathering crowned, solar ground, crowned, sacred ground in the air, and make it our beginning to the opening of a new time, a new millennial time of kindness to the female gender as well as to the male gender without patriarchy. So I'll say the light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. And we'll say to you Basques, I will say namaste and Couszmic, and we'll say Mitakuya Oyasin becomes Couszmic becomes Couszmic culture with an X. Everybody has an X chromosome, at least one, women have two. And we have women need to make loving, living peace with one another, or there's no peace in this world. No loving, living peace in this world. And we say Bahava l'chaim, salam, shalom. Bahava l'chaim, shalom, salam. Let's put those who are decimated most first, but let's recognize that they are equal, that there can be no fratricide if there is improved sorority, but if without that sorority, there will be fratricide there. And remember the mother goddesses of all the Middle East and all of the Mediterranean and all of the world, all their many, many names. And it was all a understanding that women could have those characteristics. And we're also including, let me not forget, Julianne, Anna Maria and her sister Julianne, who are also from Chicago and are involved in Millennial Park, community gardening, and all of their line, all the Hispanic women, very, very important to this culture and to this hemisphere of the world, as well as the other hemisphere. And we remember the goddess Mari from that tradition. And so Grandma Popper and Dorothy, and we've given all their names. Okay, so, and we'll say to your best, Sedleric, Merci, Ciao, Schlanzevag, Sayonara, Chop Chop, all the Sino-Soviet languages. I'm forgetting all the words, but let's include them all. And we're including Penina, we're including Bessie, whose family was divided and forced into orphanages, because I guarantee you there was abuse in the background of that family, because there is so much right now going on in Russia. That didn't come out of nowhere. That family's breakup of poverty, the reason was given was poverty, but there was something else going on. There was a subtext, and Bessie was put down. I guarantee you. Bessie was degraded and accepted it, and her family fell apart. And so we have to remember her and all her Shekinah way back to the beginning of time, all of the women of that part of the world, Antonina and Penina and Elsa and Valentina, okay? And all of their Shekinah, and all of them too. So, and we'll also say, good fortune, Happy New Year's, and all the traditions. This is not the year of the monkey and the year of the lamb, the sheep and the monkey combined. It's the years of the risen lambs and the risen sheeps, the ewes, the ewes and ewes, so that lambs can be also risen. And the monkeys are not monkeys. They are bonobos that know how to be goddesses and gods. And now we'll also get to the young men. Let me not leave out Harlan Lewis Leviz with Vanessa, and Ross with, I think he should be paired with Hadass. And I think that Yishai and Amos can be paired with Danielle Juliet and Rachel Marie, Danielle Juliet, Rachel Marie and Danielle Juliet, and Rachel and Danielle Juliet and Rachel Marie. And we have Elisheva and Marcel. All of these people can come together. All of these people can come together under the new millennial golden rule. Okay, and here in this wonderful place that I have given you in the air, so that you can have it in your heart and in your spirit, and you can make it on the sacred ground everywhere. Celebrate all your Shekinah, and celebrate all your young Shekinahs, all your Shekinahs and all your young Shekinahs and Shekinahs age 37 and younger. We do include our very beautiful couple of couples and our sisters and brothers. Very, very important. Stacy and Anastasia and Hannah and Leviz are also sister and brother. We're including the sisters and brothers of daughters and the sisters and brothers of sons, all of them. Okay, and we are also including Debbie and Dale and Julie and Dory and Tracy and Deborah and Pauline and Annabelle and Lillian and Irene and Hortense and Pauline and Annie. All of these, all of them. Okay. Now I think I've hit most people, but in mentioning, but there's more. So you have to add them. And okay, we'll drink the milk of human kindness for all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible, and especially the babies and the mothers. That's the basis of it all. Earned through breastfeeding of multiple years, supported by the entire family and community and world. We'll drink. I represent all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. I drink for all, both, and each, representing all, both, and each and everyone as soon as possible. The milk. Start with the milk. And we'll drink the water of loving living planets that will sustain and regain our planet Earth to be, and all our Earths to be, past, present, and future. Okay. And now we've got our cakes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays. And let me say about those young men who I had to leave their names wait. The waiting is the great strength. That's where the diamondhood comes in. The willingness to put the thousands of generations of women who have adjusted down in front of them and then say, I am here. I deliver this to them. I have the power of a rock, of a diamond. I am forged to be able to do that. That's a great compliment to these young men. So we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays and conception days, name days, and holy days together, starting with our equinox, spring and equinox, autumnal, seasonal birthdays and conception days, and then all of them all years rounds. We start with EQ because the importance of EQ and becoming true Qs. And okay, and we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, holding it reciprocally in the other way, because we have to learn to read right and left and right, like the way they did in Atlantis. And we'll now do our consciousness currencies. Go to the section on the website on Infinite Wealth, 5050now.wordpress.com. You'll see our pictures there, as well as under the Congress of Co-Secretary Generals of the Co-Federation. And we say, okay, and now our multiple branching circle, family tree, starting with our great and grandmother Shekinahs and all their sisters and Kazinas, and becoming Koseveras, opening the stargates for them, and all of our middle generation of Shekinahs, our current Shekinahs with us, and all of our currently with us also younger Shekinahs and younger Shekinahs, the egalitarian deliverers. Okay, and we'll go, kisses for them. Okay, and then very special people to me, and this very much includes me, and that's the problem with these people. They've been thinking to get a father figure, they have to uninclude the people who love them the most. Is that dumb? It is dumb, and we love them anyway, but warning them, continue that process, they're in big trouble. So, and I also hold up 5 fingers for her family, okay, and this young lady in pink here, the springtime couple, and also my family, very important, at Winston. Let's win instead of lose a ton there. Okay. Okay, and again, the entire family tree. Okay, and now we'll also just say we're holding up our rainbow colored bowl, clear bowl for clear thinking. Let me just fix that. Whoops, I'm rushing. So when you're rushing, take a little bit of a tumble, but you can fix them back real quickly, unless it's your land and you have an earthquake, and then it's a little bit hard. Okay, and we'll say let's start fresh with paradisal parity and not have plutonic, patriarchal, planetocide. So let's have the paradisal parity. Yesterday, you're traveling back in time to this home that was a gathering place for putting on hats that signify the respect and the crowning glory of the common people, the common person, their crowns, not some aristocracy, the common good. Okay, and you have that. So and we'll say again, holding up the flowers and the heart light again. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth's past, present, and future, as co-secretary generals, co-saviorahs, without nationalistic, patriarchally defined boundaries. We are on an interconnected earth with a sun that shines on all of us to give us total power without any bills, without any pollution. And we also have an interconnecting internet. If we guide that properly, it can bring us to the stargates and beyond, because the bringing together of the human intelligence, of the family reunion, of all the genders, of both the female and the male gender on the internet, has such power, of creative power, that you don't even have the idea. And you're not using your internet well enough yet, so you have to learn how. And we have to get those of our family who don't have it to have it. And we're going to say again, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We'll say all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earth's past, present, and future together. And that's our ceremony. And as equinox true cues, I'll say that again, holding it both ways, as co-saviorahs, co-secretary generals, equinox true cues, again, as co-saviorahs, co-secretary generals, equinox true cues. All right, that's the ceremony. I'm going to send this message. We're going to be doing a few follow-up notifications, and I think that everybody who has a need and is connected to our family already has this number to call of the phone tree in the error, if they don't already have access to the internet and can't watch this, which they also have the ability to do. So I have no idea why, but we don't want to give this to older men first. The communication of this information cannot go to older men first. It has to go through the women, and we've given it to women. So we hope they're using it, although many of them clearly are putting that old boy, the old dog in front of them again, and that's inviting Animal Farm, whether it be in California or in, the breakdown of the land, an earthquake, whether it be in California, Illinois, New York, or all of the above. Or China, and a big volcanic eruption there, or in Indonesia that's also being delayed by you. big Java eruption, you'll get the sulfur. I guarantee you. It's all connected. This is your earth. If you don't practice parity now, you're not going to have it very long. And if you don't protect your children from parity, they're going to suffer. And it will be, ladies, your doing, as much as the men's. Wake up. I've been giving you good information for a long time. Mother Nature is angry with you. Wake up and save yourselves and your children. I want to give you blessings, not curses. Choose love and life in light. I give you good doctrine. We give you good doctrine. Anne Marie and Ma Patricia did too. Forsake ye not our new millennial golden rule, and come co-host this and co-host with me on these broadcasts and deliver it to the world, and stop being such fraidy cats. I love you very, very much. Huge hugs. Say it one more time, holding our flowers and our heart light. You have this within you. Don't let it go. I don't let you go. But God is going to give you terrible feedback if you continue to let me go without your connection and cooperation. I cannot do it all without you. It cannot be done. I can only intercede so long and so far, and it's reaching the sands are going through the hourglass on you. You need to start cooperating now. So there we are, and we'll send this as a message. Okay, and that's going to be our broadcast for now. And we'll give you a chance to look at the very marvelous opening of the Stargate at this very unique place in heart and mind and spirit, as well as a sacred ground place that we can go visit among our many sacred ground places that you all mentioned have. That's our broadcast for the day, and for right now, we'll be on again in a little while.